You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. The show's brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family agent, Kim believes that there's so much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It can only be earned by what you say and what you do. Give her a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her Gene sent you. It's time now to hear from the Minnesota Multifamily Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish today at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Did you know that the members of the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, or MHA, provide over a quarter of the state's housing? That's housing for more than 1 million residents. The members of MHA agree to abide by a professional code of ethics, and they know that happy residents are key to a successful business. When you're out looking for your next apartment, remember that rental references are a two-way street. Before you rent, ask if the owner is a member of MHA. If not, ask why not, and tell them to visit mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com. If you're an owner or manager or even an accidental landlord, you owe it to yourself to learn how the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, its classes, certification programs, resources, staff, and faculty can help you succeed. Don't be a good landlord. Be a great one. Visit mmha.com. mmha.com.
We've been talking about this group out of Dover, Delaware, in Kent County, a group called HARP, which stands for Homeowners Associations Resolving Problems. And they're trying to tackle the issue that they're facing, and a lot of HOAs are today, and that is, what do you do with the delinquency rate of people not paying? Because of this, they said in Kent County, on the average, at least 10% of the amount that should be coming in for our monthly operations of our property are not coming in because of delinquencies, 10% delinquency rate. And so they came up with the idea, going to the county commissioners this last week, saying, we've got an idea. Why don't you guys collect the money for us? Because we feel that people will look at you, just because you're a government agency, with having a lot more authority. I was asking the question, is that really true? Is there going to really be a higher authority recognized by people? Or are people going to still deal with difficulties in a homeowner association where someone disagrees with a payment and they're not going to make that payment to the association? Now, is this going to embroil the county, who is going to now need to be involved in the collections? HARP said, oh, no. We don't intend for the county to have to be responsible or to be used as a collection agency. But then that really begs the question, why do you have them involved? Because if you have something that is a law, but you have no enforcement piece, you don't have a law, you just have a suggestion. You only have something that is an idea that we'd just like to propose to you. Perhaps you'd like to give the money. No, you need an enforcement piece. And so if you're going to require the county to now do that, and that was their second option here, is let's make homeowner association assessments a line item on property taxes. So now all of a sudden, HOA dues need to be paid at the same time that property taxes do. And so that's going to be collected, I would imagine, then by the mortgage company each and every month. And then once or twice a year, then it gets collected like the taxes do. And then from there, the county will now need to be responsible for passing that along to the association. Is that a good idea? I would submit to you that if you're having an issue with cash flow, the last thing you would want to do is to have the county now involved with collecting this money twice a year for taxes, and then twice a year waiting for an HOA to get paid. That's not going to do anything in terms of trying to provide better services to the homeowners. And even if an association could weather that storm for a little bit till that kicked in, it's going to cost a lot more money. Isn't it kind of naive to think that things wouldn't cost more at all, that there wouldn't be any additional costs? It's interesting. One of the county commissioners for Kent County said, you know what? We need to take some time to stand back and evaluate this whole picture, he said. There may be some good reasons for us to do this. And so they were kind of interested. And my question to you is, do we not understand that the more we get another individual involved, that we get a middleman involved, that increases prices? I mean, especially this time of year, think about it. How many people are going to be standing out in the cold when it comes to early morning on what's Black Friday, or I guess late Thursday night now, where a lot of places are going to open up because they've got special pricing. People will travel everywhere because there's going to be a factory warehouse sale. And somehow we know that if we go to a warehouse sale, we're going to get special pricing because we're cutting out the middleman. We're going to some people like to buy specifically through companies like Direct Buy. Why? Because we're cutting out that middleman. We're going to be saving money. People and consumers seem to understand it when it comes to goods and services, when it comes to appliances and televisions and phones and furniture and everything else. But when it comes to government, there seems to be a naivete that people have that they don't see where this is going to notch up the cost of providing those services. You take a look at the state of Minnesota. We're coming to the end of the year, which means that starting 2014, it's the start of what? The new legislative session with the Minnesota legislature. And there's going to be a battle, and I guarantee you we're going to be probably covering it on the show too, where there's going to be an issue where cities are going to say we're not getting as much money from the state, so that means we're going to have to raise taxes on everybody. And it's a ploy. It's a ploy because they want to try and say we're going to hold down taxes, property taxes for you, but then they turn around and the state charges more. And every time the state collects money and turns around and gives it to the city, how much of that money actually goes to the city? Well, for every dollar collected by the state, only 67 cents actually hits the city for those services. That's because about 30-some cents is eaten up just with handling fees. If you have the county do this for a homeowner association, you're going to see this with an increase in taxes. You're going to see an in growth. You're going to see a largesse that you're not going to want to be a part of. What's interesting is, I'll end with this, the commissioner said, yeah, let's take back a look at and evaluate this. The commissioners are going to evaluate these options at a special retreat in January. That's right. That's exactly how I want my money spent, with someone spending it at a retreat. Well, hey, that's all the time we have for today's show. Have a great rest of the weekend. We'll see you here next Saturday on Where You Live.